Go ahead, turn your cameras on if you can. We want to see you. We want to see you. Go ahead and drop your location in the chat. Where are you?
And now my grandmama ain't the only girl calling me baby. If you feeling me now, then put your hands up in the sky and let me hear you say, hey, hey, I'm good.
Okay, welcome in. Today, we're going to be talking about 7 ways to 6 figures in 2025 with AI. And we're going to do it in under 15 minutes. If you see me looking down, it is because I am checking my timer to ensure that I am respectful of the time. So let me just start really high level with what we're doing today and then get right into it. Thank you, Sandra. Sandra is the head of professional development here. She's the reason why I'm even able to give this webinar. So clap it up for her. Go ahead and clap it up for her. Thank you, Sandra, for bringing me in. It's awesome to be able to speak with companies, in this case, professional associations as well, to help them level up in the space of AI. A little bit about myself. I used to practice contract law. I'm a graduate of Harvard Law School. I studied international law there. And then I made the shift in my career about 6 years ago into sales, particularly into technology and AI. It was one of the biggest and best moves I could have made. Since then, I've, of course, become certified in AI. And I work with people at the intersection of law, AI, policy, understanding how to integrate these types of solutions into your tech stack. And more importantly, just understanding the changing nature of AI and how to navigate the space. Now, let me say something. Most of what I learned, the knowledge base that I learned at law school is obsolete now. And it's just the truth. I graduated in 2010. And, they say every 7 years you have to reskill anyway. But fortunately, what I learned most in law school was not the law or a knowledge base, it was how to think about the law or how to think about knowledge. And that high level mindset, that ability to take large amounts of information and synthesize it, to see patterns and the problem solve at the highest levels has been really a game changer in my career. So you're going to really enjoy today because we're going to this is only going to be 15 minutes. This is a lunch and learn. Of course, Sandra has brought me in to do a series of webinars with you all that we're going to do. The next webinar is actually going to be 3 hours. So we're going to do a deep dive into each of these. But right now is more public facing. And this is something that I just wanted you to get your hands on so you can get primed for when we do the deep dive, how we really can begin to think of ourselves differently when it comes to leveraging AI. Now, you do know that AI is a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. I don't have to tell you that. I think it was Mark Cuban who said recently that he foresees in our lifetime we're going to see the first trillionaire. Yes, trillionaire with a T. And he said it's probably going to be some guy in a basement. All right. I don't know if you're looking at this from a basement, but let's get into it. All right. I'm 2 minutes in. So let's start right now. These tools you have right at your fingertips, and I guarantee you're not even using it to the best of your ability. Now, let me say this. After we do this segment, I am going to do a practicum for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT at a really, really high level. All right. But right now, I'm just going to start with the 7 ways to 6 figures in 2025 with AI. If you're ready, drop ready in the chat. I know, I know. Somebody said born ready. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's go. Number 7, we're going to go from 7 to 1. Okay, 3 minutes and 40 seconds in. The first way to make money with AI in 2025 is content creation. I know you've heard content is king. It used to take hours. I mean, hours and hours and hours of editing and revising and all of this, what have you, to create content. Now with AI, you're able to do it almost instantaneously. Now, this is not the time, but I show people how to prompt better. You have ChatGPT right at your fingertips, but if you don't prompt it right, it's not going to work for you. I did a whole high level webinar for lawyers teaching them how to ask the right question so you can get the right answer. You know, it's an old saying. It's not the size of the answer that you should focus on, it's the size of the question because that's going to drive the answer. I've seen people enter wrong prompts in and they don't get the content that they want. This is not about creating content that sounds AI or sounds inauthentic. I can show you how to personalize your chat GPT. This is the tool you'd use here. Really, chat GPT is the best for content creation. How to personalize it and do little tweaks that allows you to sound much more natural. Okay. All right. And I got something for the students there that are using Chat GPT to write papers and their teachers are running it through AI to see if AI is actually writing it. Well, there's ways to mask that. I don't want to get into that now. All right. I have a whole thing, Chat GPT for students at a high level. Okay. All right. Content creation. So how does that look? What that looks like is if you are because I'm teaching this two ways right now. I'm teaching this both for those of you that are going to use this to make money for yourselves, and then those of you that are going to outsource, right? You want to be the content creator for someone else. Maybe you're not the one that really has to create the content or for yourself, but you want to be the one to create or be the generator for someone else. You can use the same tools that I use or other folks use, whether they're ghostwriting their books or writing blogs, and you can write someone else's. Now, let me tell you something. Ghostwriting a book typically is $5,000 to $15,000. If you ghostwrite 3 books over the course of a month, there you are at $25,000 a month easily. I'm just giving you ideas and ways to do things. You know, I wrote my first book at 18 and I've written 10 since then. I haven't used AI to write any of my books, but I do use AI to turn my books into blog posts, right? We're going to talk about that later in another session. 6, short form video agency. I want to give you a tool, Opus Clip. Opus Clip, write that down. This allows you to do in minutes what it used to take hours, days, and weeks to do in an entire staff. What do I mean? Okay, you can take a long video like this, a webinar, something that's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and I can put this into this video software and it's going to determine by AI. I mean, it's just amazing what's the most engaging clips, where I'm going to get the most engagement. It will break it up into clips and then take those and make them bite size for real stories, whether I want to put it on TikTok, Instagram, and then I'm able to circulate that video content all over social media. You do know 75% of the way that people ingest their media now is through video. So how does this work for you? You go to companies, you go to creators, you go to consultants that maybe need video content. You say, look, I saw this webinar that you did and I loved it. But I think if you had this webinar and you slid it in the clips, you're going to be so much more effective. And you actually can show them this by taking the webinar, having done a little research before, showing them 3 or 4 clips of their talk, maybe that they just did, but show it now with that short form video, shows it in a way that's able to be more engaging, give them show the title, explain to them how you would put it up on which social media platforms. And I guarantee you do that with 10 people or 10 companies, at least one is going to say, you know what? Hey, let's enter into a contract. All right. So I'm just giving you ways to think higher about this. Now, keep your eye on this because when we get to 3, I'm going to show you a way to supercharge short form video agency with AI. Right. So keep your eye on that. 5, LinkedIn content writer. Actually, this is what I'm going to show you in real time right after this. I'm going to show you how I do content writing for several $1,000s for people. I mean, I do this per month for people. What do I mean? I take executives, high level people who don't have time. They don't want to sit there and write their content on LinkedIn, but they got 10,000 followers. They've got 20,000 followers. They trust me as their their communication strategist. They trust me as being able to drive a strategy. So I am writing their content and I'm posting for them. Now, you might ask, well, if ChatGPT is writing the content for LinkedIn, what do they need you for? Well, I've got to prompt it. I have to have the strategy. There has to be a mind that guides it. So I go and I work with about 3 high-level executives. Of course, I would never say their name. You know, some of you probably know who they are, but you don't know I'm the one writing for them. And they pay me several $1,000s a month to just right? Their content, make sure that it's up there, and then also make sure that the things that they're doing, their speeches, their writings, is put into a video form and put out there. All right. This is a easy way for you to one, increase your income flow, and then also engage with high level people by solving a problem. What's the problem you're solving? I'm going to be your communication person, right? And I'm going to make sure you look great on all of the platforms. Okay. 5 minutes left. How do we do it? Okay, I got to pick it up. 4, AI photographer. Okay, it used to be in order to get the perfect picture at the perfect place at the perfect time, you had to be there. What did Hamilton say? Be in the room to be in the room. Well, now you don't have to be in the room. I mean, you can be in the room, but we can put you in the room through AI. Now, this is not something that I do personally. I do have friends that do it. It's a major stream of income for a lot of people. And I know folks, this is what they've done. They started doing this over during COVID. So you got to think smart. It's called think and grow rich, not work and grow rich. Right. So what do I mean? They recognized that it was harder for them to get around. They had to carry the equipment, yada, yada, so forth and so on. So they started putting in packages, virtual packages that say, hey, look, send me your picture. I'm the photographer. I'll AI it, and you tell me where you want to be, how you want to look, what you want your hair to look like, what the background is, and I can turn it into a photo. Actually, really supercharge it. I can turn it into a video. You can be the AI videographer. I've got a friend that makes $25,000 a month just by doing AI photography, and she does not even have a camera. Yeah, this is the world we're in now. Okay. 3, video ad agency. I'm doing good on time, actually. AI video ads agency. AI video ads agency is actually where you take an image, you take an idea, and we have softwares that will create the ad. It's actually a video ad. It's an entire video ad. I mean, you've seen this stuff going around the internet. I don't stand by some of these things. Now we got to talk about ethics. I'm going to put on a whole nother hat for that. And I'll refer you to I did a talk for lawyers, the CLE, on ethics and AI. That's a whole nother thing. But you've seen, I'm sure, videos of the president saying certain things. Even we've seen national security wise, the Secretary of State now, Marco Rubio, it turned out that there was a foreign dignitary that was doing a transaction with who they thought was the Secretary of State for the United States. It was not Marco Rubio. It was his clone. All right. So this is, and Elon Musk said it himself. He said that video AI is moving at the speed of, quote, light. So I want you to think, if billionaires and multi-billionaires have their focus here, you might want to be thinking about it. All right. So just find ways, look at ways. If this is you, I'm giving you different ways to take your time, your talents, and leverage that against time with AI to help other people solve problems. Okay. Now, this is where we get to the fun money, the big money. The big money. All right. Somebody drop the money emoji in the chat for me to drop this, okay? Because this is where the fun part comes. All right. By the way, I just want to say, you do know, of course, you're going to get a gift from me when this is over. I have an entire pamphlet for you, 7 ways to 6 figures in 2025 with AI. It's a whole playbook. You're going to get that free, no cost to you. Thanks, Sandra, for bringing me in. Thanks, Sandra, for the budget. Yes. Secondly, you're going to get a copy of my book, Create Your Own Economy. I told you, this is the time. You have to be able to shift. You cannot depend on one stream of income. You cannot depend on the job. You cannot depend on politics or what's going on in the macroeconomy. You have to set yourself up as your own economy. So I've got a great book for you. You write me, DM me after this, or email me through Sandra, and I'll make sure you get that. Okay. Number 2, SaaS builder. Now, I told you I shifted into sales about 7 years ago. Best move of my life. All right. I started with SaaS sales. It's software as a service. This is one of the easiest ways to scale.